Welcome to this explainer on the chaotic and honestly, totally thrilling return of the Brazilian MotoGP Sprint Race after a massive 22-year absence. Today, we are unpacking a race weekend that, well, it literally had it all.
Sinkholes, delays, and a brand new track. Let's dive right in and see who actually managed to conquer a weekend that started with the track quite literally falling apart beneath the bikes. We've got a lot to cover, from wild qualifying results to a complete start-to-finish digest of the race, and of course, how this all shakes up the latest championship points.
Section 1. The Brazilian GP, a very turbulent qualifying. So before we get into the sprint itself, we really have to look at how this starting grid shaped up, because the track conditions were already tricky, setting us up for some massive surprises.
Just look at Fabio Di Giannantonio. He laid down an incredible pole position time of 1:17.410. He fought his way all the way from Q1 to snatch his very first pole position in 4 years on that VR46 Ducati. What a performance, right? Then you've got Marco Bezzecchi and Marc Marquez rounding out the front row right behind him. So the dynamic for the race was incredibly tense right from the get-go.
And we definitely have to highlight Augura in 6th place. He secured a super strong second-row start after actually setting the fastest time during Friday's free practice. He proved right out of the gate that he had some serious pace on this brand new Brazilian surface.
Section 2. Sprint Race, 10th start. Now, just as the anticipation was peaking for the lights to go out, absolute chaos descended on the Ayrton Senna circuit, and the start procedure was completely derailed. You see, a massive sinkhole suddenly opened up, and the newly laid track surface literally started breaking apart under the bikes. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This caused a staggering 3-hour delay while crews just scrambled to make emergency repairs to the asphalt. And because of those delays, and obviously the compromised safety, officials had no choice but to drastically shorten the sprint race down to a quick 15 laps.
Add to that the whole tire situation. Michelin explicitly stated that their expanded tire allocation was defined, and I quote, exclusively from simulations. They had absolutely zero real-world testing on this newly paved, highly asymmetric track that really beats up the right shoulder of those tires. So, you take a total lack of actual tire data, you mix it with a crumbling track, and you've basically got a recipe for sheer unpredictability.
Section 3, Race Progression, Marquez's Charge. Let's look at how all this buildup exploded into an incredibly fast-paced, action-packed 15-lap sprint race. With that shortened distance, every single corner was absolutely critical.
Right out the line, Di Giannantonio got a fantastic launch to grab the early hole shot. Actually, Fabio Quartararo jumped up to challenge initially, but Marc Marquez very quickly asserted himself. By the mid-race point, Marquez was just relentlessly hunting Di Gia down, finding this incredible rhythm once his tire temperature stabilized. And then, in those final thrilling laps, Marquez executed a completely perfect ambush to snatch the lead right away.
But how exactly did that ambush happen? Well, the climax came when Di Giannantonio made a slight but super costly error on a specific corner where that track surface was noticeably breaking up. He ran just slightly wide over the damaged asphalt, and boom, it opened the door perfectly for Marquez to strike and take control of the race.
Section 4. Sprint Race Final Results. So after our really frantic, edge-of-your-seat 15 laps, let's look at who managed to survive and conquer this circuit.
Marc Marquez secured a stunning sprint victory. And by the way, this ends a 9-race sprint win drought for him. He edged out Giannantonio by just 0.2 of a second. I mean, talk about a razor-thin margin at the finish line. Jorge Martin fought his way to third, securing his first ever podium on the Aprilia machine. And Marco Bezzecchi showed some serious consistency to come in fourth.
And we have to mention number 5, Augura. It was a fantastic day for his fans, for sure. He overcame a bit of a sluggish start off the line to battle his way all the way back up the grid, securing a highly impressive 5th-place finish in some really chaotic conditions. This actually marks his 2nd consecutive points finish, a massive achievement for the Trackhouse rider.
Section 5, Latest Points Ranking. Now that this completely wild sprint is in the books, how does this shortened race affect the overall championship standings? Let's check out the points tally. Here's a look at those vital championship points earned today. Marquez, of course, takes the maximum 12 points, Di Giannantonio bags 9, and Martin grabs 7. But pay really close attention to those 6 points from Marco Bezzecchi. When you combine that with his other results, these sprint points were absolutely critical. They actually contributed to Bezzecchi's surging to the top of the overall championship standings over the course of this wild weekend.
Every single point matters when the conditions are this unpredictable.
This sprint was an absolute thriller from start to finish, giving us some incredible battles despite all the drama. But it leaves us with one massive, lingering question. If this brand new track surface literally couldn't handle the strain of a shortened 15-lap sprint, what on earth is going to happen in the main event when they have to race double the distance? It's going to be wild, and it's something you absolutely will not want to miss. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes on the tarmac.